Hi, I'm Samir Jain. Let's do a book review. I flipped through a rather dense book by the wonderful and very controversial Sam Huntington, The Challenges to America's National Identity. Very controversial. He was the guy who wrote The Clash of Civilizations. So I concluded that there is a certain amount of confusion in perception of the brand of patriotism and the challenges to US national identity that he espouses. Being American is more than just allegiance to Constitution. So he stresses the need to preserve inherited English language and Anglo-Protestant culture as the core of Americanness. He suggests that initial settlers who transplanted their culture in the US were different from subsequent immigrants who assimilated within that culture out of choice. Though I would argue that unlike other colonists, the US welcomed an early diverse foreign ethnic pool such as Germans and Italians, Irish, Polish, and not just the English. Of course, in the last few decades, a growing number of Asians, including yours truly from India and China, have come in too. He says that post-World War II, American national identity surged on account of nationalism brought about by the war. He also says that a slowdown in immigration provided greater time for assimilation. So, Sam Huntington is pretty concerned about the weakening of American identity on account of Mexican immigration, which he says is concentrated in a very narrow area. Much like our great president, he questions their language, education, their affiliation to the US. He's also opposed to multiculturalism that most liberal elites favor. Could it be that at the extreme end of the spectrum, the new America will be multilingual, multi-ethnic, no commonality in culture, where US subordinates its foreign policy to multilateralism? I'm not sure. The other question is military conflict the crucible of national identity? And if so, is it a good thing and is it desirable? He seems to have exaggerated the risks brought about by his unique perception of what it means to be an American. I think other countries face far bigger risks. Islam in Europe, demographics in Japan, political risks in the Middle East, civil war in Africa, expansionist Russia, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Agree or disagree, and I don't have any strong position myself, Sam Huntington was a very provocative guy, and this book I think is definitely worth reading. Thank you for listening in.